and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So this video has been highly requested for such a long time, but I didn't really know how I was going to film this or what sort of setup I wanted. So a lot of you asked for a get ready with me or like, you know, what makeup I use and what my beauty regime is. I recently did a skincare routine, which is like my cleanser, toner, a moisturiser and face mask routine. So if you want to know what I use to keep my skin maintained, go and watch that video because that's still up to date. I haven't changed anything, so that gives you an idea of what I sort of, because the thing is like makeup's brilliant, but if you're not treating your skin in the proper way, then your makeup will never look good. So it's important to have a really good skincare routine as well. So make sure to check out my skincare routine, and this video is going to be all about the makeup I use and the beauty regime I do every day. So I did try and film a get ready with me, but yeah, it didn't really look too good. So I thought you guys probably don't want to know the technique as such as what I do, because what I do is really simple. I think you guys just want to know what products I use and my recommendations on the products I use. So I thought I would just do more of a sit down video and show you like the products I use, just because I think that's probably easier for the both of us. So to start everything off, once I have cleansed, toned and moisturised every day, twice a day, in the morning I like to put on my primer. So this is a relatively new primer. I was quite sceptical of including this in this video because I have only been using it for about a week. But in that week, I have found a really good primer. Before I was using the Rimmel London Matte Finish Primer, I think it was called, and that was really good, but this is even better. This is the Makeup Revolution Ultra Face Base Primer 24-hour makeup protection, and it's in a nice little pink bottle. This is a clear and matte primer. When you put it on, it mattifies. I wasn't sure whether it would mattify, but it did. And this is just a really simple primer. And I also forgot to say, all the makeup that is included in this video is all high street. It's all drugstore makeup, all cheap as chips, nothing expensive, and I'm so happy. I used to use NARS foundation. I used to use makeup which was maybe a little bit more expensive because I thought, wow, this is really good. But I've actually found cheap alternatives for everything, and everything I'm about to show you can be bought from Boots or Superdrug, which is brilliant. So yeah, this primer is brilliant. I use it every day. It's really easy to apply on, and it mattifies as soon as it goes on your skin, and it's a great base layer to put your makeup on. The reason why primer is so important is because it really gives you like a base layer. Like, it's fine to not use primer, but I find to have like the smooth sort of finished look, a primer is definitely recommended, and of course it keeps the crap out of your pores as well. Next, I then apply my foundation. So I've been using this foundation for about 8 months now, roughly, and I am truly converted. Before I was using NARS, is it Sheer Glow I think it was, but that was brilliant, but after a while my skin just really didn't like it. So I needed something, and once I tried this, like, I'm honestly like never ever going back to anything else. This is my lifetime foundation, I hope. So it is the Rimmel London Lasting Finish 25-hour foundation. I use the ivory colour, but I tend to go between ivory and soft ivory, or true ivory, I think it is. Yeah, I swap between ivory and true ivory depending on like how tanned my skin is, basically. So at the moment I'm using ivory, which is a little bit of a darker one, whereas true ivory is a little bit of a paler one. Basically, I have recommended this to so many people, and so many people have loved it, so I think it is a really good all-round foundation. It is a very thick coverage, so if you were really against thick coverage, this probably isn't for you. But for me, I have spots to hide, I have bags under my eyes to hide, I have a lot to hide. So for me, having a really thick foundation is just perfect, and I just really can't fault this. It's like $7.99. Again, absolute guess, I think it's about $7.99, and it's just a brilliant foundation. Highly recommend, you all need to try this. It is a lifesaver. Next up, I then apply my concealers. So the main concealer I use for around my nose and around my spots is the Rimmel London Wake Me Up Concealer. So again, I've been using this as long as I've been using the foundation, and it is just a fantastic concealer. Again, heavy coverage, So if you don't like heavy coverage, it probably isn't for you, but this is just incredible. It conceals literally everything. So you really can't go wrong with this one. Again, very cheap to buy as well. And then for underneath my eyes and around my eyes, I go for the Maybelline New York Instant Anti-Age The Eye Eraser. So it looks like this, and it's got a sponge on the top. You just basically like dab it around your eyes and blend it. And all of these I like to blend in with the Real Techniques sponge, which looks incredibly dirty, yay. So this one, the only reason I don't use my Rimmel concealer for underneath my eyes is simply because it just didn't give me the bright enough effect, if that makes sense. Whereas the Maybelline sponge gives me that brightening look to my eyes and really sort of like takes the darkness away. So I have a lot of discoloration underneath my eyes, which I think makes them look really tired and dark. So this, because it is like a brightening sort of concealer, it brightens up the darkness and really like sort of it transforms my eyes basically. I think this is around £7.99. It's a really good buy. So once I've applied my concealers, I then go on to applying my bronzer. So for all intents and purposes, I'm using a few of the products off my stockpile because they're the same products, but literally the products I am using at the moment are filthy and broken and nearly ending. So at least you can get an idea of what it looks like brand new. So my bronzer is the L'Oreal Paris Glam Bronze. It's basically one of the only bronzers they do. It's got a really nice pattern on it. I use this, and I'm one of those people who just put bronzer all over their face. I don't really have a technique as such. I just put it all over for a slight glow and to give me a bit of colour. I also find this really sets my foundation as well. I don't know why, I don't know how, but when I put it on, it seems to just set my foundation really nicely. This is a little bit more expensive. I think it's about £12, I think, but it lasts a heck of a long time. It just lasts forever, so you won't be buying it every month. The next product I use is a mattifying powder. So I got this in the reduced section, oh hey. Again, this is a new one because the one I'm using, the lid's all broken and it would just not be a good example to show you. So this is the Rimmel London Stay Matte Powder, and I have it in number 4 Sandstorm. It is £3.99, and I only know that because it's on the label, thank God. And it is just an amazing, amazing powder. It mattifies absolutely anything. It really just gives me that finished look, and it sort of like helps seal everything in, I guess. So before I was using it, I found my makeup came off very easily, but now I'm using it, I find it lasts all day and it still looks as good at like 5 PM. The only thing I would say is probably throughout, like by 3 o'clock, I would probably have to reapply this or they go a bit shiny, but I think that's just because I've got kind of like oily skin. But apart from that, it's a really good product. Loads of people use it and recommend it, and for £3.99 it's an absolute bargain. I've got to say, because you'll probably want to know the brushes I use to apply these. For the bronzer, I use this brush from Wilkinson's. It is a bronzing brush. It's amazing. It's so soft, and I think it was about £3. Wilkinson's do really good makeup brushes. They're really pretty. For the Rimmel London mattifying powder, I like to use this Real Techniques brush. It is the powder brush, and it is really good. It's really soft and fluffy, and it gives you a really good all over coverage. Then for my contour, which is the final thing I do to my skin, is I use the Bronze and Sculpt Contour Kit by MUA Luxe. So it is in this gold packaging. Like I said, I included this in my favourites, was it? I think it was in my favourites, I don't know. I don't use the highlight, I only use the contour out of this. It's a really nice bronzer. Now I know you're going to say, why don't you just use your bronzer for your contour? But it just doesn't give you the same effect. This bronzer is amazing. It's what gives me my glow, and I just don't get it from my L'Oreal one. So I'm quite happy to use this, and I think again this was really cheap, probably less than £5. Then for my highlight, which you can see is very, very nice, I use the Bella Pierre Cosmetics eyeshadow in colour Champagne. Now I explained this in my favourites as well, why I use eyeshadow, but it gives me this incredible dewy, not glossy, it gives me a very dewy finished contour look, which I love, and I've had so many compliments on it and so many people love it. So this is definitely a product I recommend. It's incredible. It's about £12 to buy this eyeshadow. I'm not too sure where you can buy Bella Pierre Cosmetics. I bought it offline, so just give it a Google search. And to apply both of those products, I use the Makeup Revolution like angled brush. I got this in a gift set at Christmas, but I think you can still buy these. You can buy any brand brushes, to be honest. It's just the angled face brush, which I think they call it, but it's a great brush. Love it, and it really gives you that angle to do some nice streaks. Next, I'll move on to my eyebrows. So for my eyebrows, first of all, I use the 17 Clear Definition Mascara. So why the hell do I put mascara on my eyebrows, I hear you say? Well, I only put clear mascara on my eyebrows, so any clear mascara will be good, but this was in my local Boots at clearance for £1, so I thought I'd stock up while I could. Literally, I just go over my eyebrows, it styles them, it kind of gels them in place because I got quite bushy eyebrows. I find they have like a mind of their own sometimes. So having a little gel as such on there to just mould them into shape really helps, and it makes it so easy to draw them with my pencil afterwards. Then the brow pencil I use to get brows on fleek is Maybelline New York's Brow Satin. I use dark brown because I have very dark eyebrows. It does come with a sponge, but I don't really like to use this. I feel it looks really messy once you've used the sponge, and I don't know, I don't feel I need it. But the most important part is the pencil bit. It's like a kohl pencil, I guess, if I had to describe it. And just literally like shape and draw them on. It's fab, it's brilliant. If you have big, thick, fuller eyebrows, I can see this would be really good. And also, if you don't have eyebrows, it would be really good. My friend Kez doesn't really have much of an eyebrow, shall we say, and she used this and her eyebrows looked amazing. So if you feel I don't need to really draw eyebrows on, I just kind of shape them, but if you need to draw eyebrows on, this is really good as well. I think this is about like £7, it's not much at all, but a really good product, and it lasts a really long time. So finally, on to what I use for my eyes. So you'll know I keep my eye makeup very similar. I do the same thing every day. I'm really a creature of habit with my eyeshadow, just because I found something that works. I don't like trying new things because I'm worried they won't work on my eyes, because I think like while you've perfected something, you want to stick to it. Like, I'm not really one of those people who think, right, now I've perfected this, I'll go on and sculpt something else. I'm like, no, this looks good, we'll stick to it. So I've used the Tanya Burr Hollywood palette. So this is from Tanya Burr Cosmetics. It's called the Hollywood palette, and I've used this for God, about a year and a half now. I've definitely grown my skills over that year and a half. I use Gold Coin all over as an olive colour. I then use Nude Delight to do the highlights in the corners and just under my brow bone, and then I use Bookworm as a darker colour just in the corners to give it a bit of definition. I don't really use the sparkly one. I'm sure I would on a night out, but I tend to go for a darker look on a night out anyway. So this palette, oh God, I don't know how much. It's £6.99 off the top of my head, I think it is. Really good value, and it lasts a really long time as well. Oh, and the most important thing, the pigmentation of Tanya Burr's eyeshadows are incredible. Like, I would only ever use her eyeshadows now. They're so fantastic. The pigmentation is everything, and I've tried like Urban Decay and all of the expensive ones, and I just wasn't impressed with them at all, whereas the £6.99 one, I'm sold. Then for my black liquid eyeliner, which is my little flick, I use the Rimmel London Glam Eyes liquid eyeliner. The reason why I use this one is because the black, like, I don't know, some of the ones I've used from other brands, the black doesn't seem like black enough. I don't know, it just doesn't seem dark enough, or like rich enough, I guess you could say. But I haven't got any fault to the Rimmel London one. It's really cheap to buy as well, and it's got a flexible little brush in it as well, which really helps to really glide across, whereas the thick sort of non-movable brushes, I don't know what the word is, basically the other type of brush you get in eyeliners, which is like hard, I can't design with it, I can't flick with it. Also, to apply my eyeshadow, I use the Real Techniques eyeshadow brush. I like this one because it seems to blend really well. I've used other eyeshadow brushes and they just haven't blended that well, whereas for some reason the Real Techniques one really works for me. Then to a new mascara. So again, these are all quite new products, but they are amazing. So the lovely Lydia Elise Millen, who's a lovely fashion blogger, suggested these on her Snapchat, and I was sold instantly looking at those luscious lashes. So what she suggested doing was getting the L'Oreal Paris Volume Million Lashes So Couture, which is a purple and gold packaging. It's the only one, so just look out for purple and gold if you get confused. Basically, you put this one on first on your lashes, and to be honest, even this alone is a really good mascara. I do like to use them both, but this on itself is a really good mascara. I think it's about $9.99. Then to go on top of that, to really give you sort of like the volumized look as such, I use the L'Oreal Paris False Lash Sculpt. So this is a purple and silver one. It's their new one, and it's quite a weird looking wand if I'm honest. But again, this works so well, and it just really lifts them and gives them volume. So this kind of like individualizes the lashes and gives them definition, whereas this kind of like lifts it all up. So together these are amazing. I think this is about $9.99 as well, this mascara. So together they are the dream team of mascaras, and you know, 20 quid together, shall we say, isn't a bad price, and they'll last a really long time as well. Then the eyeliner I use sort of like underneath my eye is the Bourjois Paris 16 Hour Kohl and Contour. Just, I think it's just a black colour. The reason why I swapped to Bourjois over Rimmel London is just because Rimmel London's used to smudge underneath my eyes all the time. It was good, but it would just smudge, and then I'd end up with like black eyes by the end of the day. Whereas the Bourjois one never seems to smudge, it never like goes anywhere, it just stays there and it looks so good. So if you have that problem of eyeliner smudging, please try the Bourjois one, because I promise it doesn't smudge. Then once I've done everything, now this may seem a lot, but I tell you what, it only takes me 15 minutes to do my makeup, which is actually less time than I used to take. So I've actually cut down my time somehow. I honestly don't know how. So to finish my look off, now you're all gonna hate me for this, because in my July favourites I said I didn't like the Makeup Revolution Pro Fix setting spray, I liked the NUX one. Well, since I said that, I thought I'm gonna give the Makeup Revolution Pro Fix another chance. Like, let's see what we can do, like let's give it a chance, and I'm kind of sold to this one now. I don't really like the NUX one. It was great, like don't get me wrong, but I've been converted back to Makeup Revolution's Pro Fix, so this is a little bit cheaper at $5.99 I think, and it is just such a good setting spray. It gives you a really sort of like mattifying dewy glow. It enhances my contour, it stays on all day, helps me when I'm sweating, because especially in the hot weather, like my makeup just seems to come off and sweat, but it really helps to stay on and like keep, and it's really cooling as well. I really like the cooling, how it feels nice and cool when I pop it on. So yeah, I've now switched back to Makeup Revolution, and I recommend Makeup Revolution's Pro Fix. Then for my lipstick, which is my final part of my makeup before I step out the door, I use the NUX Liquid Suede Cream Lipstick in, I don't know what colour this is, in Sandstorm. So this is a kind of brownie nude. It is an incredible liquid lipstick. It mattifies really quickly, the colour's really intense, it doesn't dry out your lips. As I said before, it's a really good one, because I tried tons and tons of them and they all irritated my lips and dried them out. But this one seems to be the best one, which has suited me. They're $6.99 from Boots, they're really not that expensive, and it stays on most of the day. I don't need to top it up most of the time. It lasts through eating, drinking, talking, everything. Like, it lasts so well. So I highly recommend the range. There's lots of colours in there, nudes to vibrant colours, reds, whatever colour you can think of, and they're just great, I love them. So there you have it, that is my complete makeup routine. I know it seems a lot, there's a heck of a lot of products there, but I'm really happy to say that like over the last year I found all the products which really complement my skin and really help me achieve the look I want, and I'm just really happy with how my makeup looks and how, like, you know, I've learned to work with them and learn really how to use them, because like I'm not a makeup artist. I'm surprised I even turn out like this every day, but once you use them for a while you just get used to it all, and then you get used to sort of like, you get in a flow and you get in a rhythm, and then you learn how to really sort of like transform your skin and sort of especially with liquid eyeliner as well. Liquid eyeliner, like, I still get it wrong every day. I still have uneven eyes and flicks going in all different directions, so I'm still learning. So don't feel bad if you think like, oh, I can't do it, because you can do it. It just takes time. I've been doing liquid eyeliner since I was 16, so that's what, 7 years now, and yeah, I'm still not perfect. So I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. I will link all the products I've spoken about down below in the description box for you to go and have a look at. Let me know if you have any product recommendations or if you've tried any of the products I've spoken about, because I would love to hear your feedback as well. I hope this has helped you and inspired you to try some new makeup and find some products that are going to suit you, because I promise they are all fabulous products and they're all budget friendly as well, which is a bonus. So thanks guys for watching. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful, and I will see you in my next video next week. Lots of love.